go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Having Juice with OJ with your host, Oliver. And today we are here with, obviously, my co-host, Jerem. Say what's good.
What's up, everybody? How we doing?
And we've got the CEO and founder of EnterprizeSports, Dan SERAVALLI. Thank you for coming in.
Dan the man.
Appreciate you having me, as always.
Of course. I mean, how was the weekend, boys? Chilling?
I mean, the weekend was good. I spent it with you. I didn't see Jerem, but the weekend was good itself. WrestleMania in Philadelphia, so eventful weekend.
Yeah, tell us about it. I mean, me and Dan were actually outside doing some interviews, talking to the people. Got some characters, man.
It's a different breed of people. If you're looking for good-looking women, don't go to WrestleMania. It's not what you're going to find there. That's all I'm going to tell you. But yeah, different type of characters, but makes for good content.
Yeah, what'd you dress up as so you could tell?
I was The Rock. I was the late 90s Rock, turtleneck, gold chain, fanny pack. Got a lot of compliments. A lot of people did recognize. I was surprised. You could, I think, vouch for me. A lot of people did.
Yeah, everyone definitely knew who you were. What was your favorite interview? Who did you talk to?
Well, I talked to a guy dressed as Cody Rhodes. That was a good one. The Undertaker one was pretty good. The guy told me I was going to rest in peace. He literally was dressed like the Undertaker and I don't know if it was his brother, friend, whatever. He was dressed like Kane. So their getup was good, though. It was a good outfit. It's probably expensive. It looked like they spent a lot of money on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah. That would probably be the best one, I would say.
Now, you guys ever gone to like whether it was WWE or a professional wrestling event before?
I have, yeah. I have. So I was at the 2004 Royal Rumble when Chris Benoit won.
Yeah. What were you, 24 back then?
30, like 37.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, so me and my dad went to that, and Chris Benoit won. I think they actually like discounted that victory because because he murdered his family.
Wasn't that year too?
Way to put it like that.
It was in Philly.
It
was in Philly. Yeah, he beat the Big Show. That was like when Goldberg and Brock Lesnar were having their beef, and like Goldberg was in the Royal Rumble, Lesnar wasn't, but then came in to like
got him out,
get Goldberg out. So yeah, like that whole beef was happening. But yeah, it was really cool. I'd been to like SmackDown, I think 3 times. I went to Raw once as well. So I was really into it as a kid. My stepbrothers got me into it. So I was big time.
So, and then how would you explain this experience at WrestleMania versus those other shows? And then for yourself, how would you explain like the experience of being at WrestleMania? Something so big. Like
It was my first time. So you can go first.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense of production level, I mean, it is honestly incredible. If you haven't been there, I mean, it's the pyrotechnics, the lighting, everything about it, and then to have it in a football stadium, which I didn't love that they had it outside this early in the year. It was cold, and people were definitely complaining about the first night. Second night was still a little chilly, wasn't as bad, but like when The Rock and they had the tag team for the championship on Saturday night, it was like 47 degrees, like. It's cold, and they're wrestling shirtless, and they said it was cold, even the wrestlers. So, like, honestly, the experience in the football stadium, different, but really cool in the same breath. We were lucky enough to end up getting in a suite, which was pretty cool. Yeah, like, it's just different in a football stadium. When you're in the Wells Fargo Center, I think it's more of an intimate, because you're so much closer to the action.
Clothes.
Yeah, unless you're, like, right next to the ring, I feel like you're kind of far away. But, like, it's just such a different element now to wrestling. You don't have the Attitude Era anymore, where it's like definitely a little bit more vulgar back then than it was now. You had obviously like Stone Cold, you had The Rock, you had Triple H. Yeah, just a different feel. I'm not as into it, but like I see the kids into it, and I'm like, yeah, I guess from a kid's perspective, nothing's changed. It's still like the same type of feel. I guess when you get older, you just realize, different. Some people don't, as you can see. Some people, if you look at my interview, some people,
live for it.
It's their life.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, some people, like you just said, they're older, way older than us, and they're still dressing up and like doing the makeup, and they have 3 belts wrapped around their waist, and it's like, dude, you did not win that belt. But like,
no. Go aheed, finish it.
It was just really great. Like first time being there, first time WrestleMania thing. It was at first it was like weird. You're like walking around the tailgate, and you don't really know what a WrestleMania tailgate should look like. Like it was weird. Like it's like you're used to sporting event, like different sporting events. But then WWE, it's a whole different character and element. Like people are just like, I don't know how to explain the atmosphere just felt so, everyone was so into it. Like from 2 years old all the way up to 65, they all felt the same way about about it and like about the sporting event they were about to go to. And it was just so fun. And then going into it, Yeah, I agree with you that it's like it wasn't an enclosed space, so it felt a little far away when we were in the club box. But other than that, like it still felt like I could see everything. Like it didn't feel like too open. Like March Madness did some like one of our friends was there and it looked like you were a mile away if you were above.
Which it is, because I've been to that too.
Yeah.
It's similar. It's a similar vibe. When it's in a football stadium, the basketball court's so much smaller than a football field, so it does feel the same type of way. But the WWE ring's so small, it feels like it's like
It looks like a 4x4.
Yeah, you're watching it like on the screen. I feel like a lot more. Another thing I feel like it's so different now. It's like you have influencers at these events, which is so different than before. I show Speed in a Prime bottle, getting like RKO'd, which was hilarious, by the way.
So funny.
Which was hilarious. And you have like Logan Paul winning like belts. So I give credit to Logan Paul though, man. The guy's athletic. The guy can put on a show. I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan, but I give him and his brother nothing but respect. They've built their names up and done a good job.
I agree with you. Like I have a lot of respect for Logan Paul. He's very athletic. He has been putting in that work. Like I've been getting a lot back into wrestling recently, and like what they're doing with the product now, it's just you can see that it's gonna grow exponentially within the next couple of years. Like with the story that they just did right now with like the whole The Rock, the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, all of that stuff, and then like how you were saying with the influencers and how now they even have the Prime logo in the middle of the ring and they have like the advertisements all around the ring and stuff like that. Like it's a new era for wrestling a lot because of like the Vince McMahon stuff and like what happened with that. And yeah, like he's a POS and stuff like that. But that's a different story. But it's just great.
He built a great product though.
It is. And it's great to see how Triple H is now taking it and like actually being able to do what he wants to do with it. And it's showing. It was a great weekend.
Yeah, no, he's done a good job. What was I going to say? I was going to say something in regards to it. Yeah, like I feel like so many people are so stuck in the Attitude Era and they just kind of ignore. It's kind of like NBA fans of today. I feel like they'll always be stuck in the past. Like, oh, that was the better product. That was the better product. And it's like what you grew up with. But if you just like look at what's actually happening, like they put out a great product and you just need
appreciate it.
You have to appreciate it. You have to appreciate change. It's sometimes hard for people. It's hard for me. I feel like at times too. But the product's great. Roman Reigns did a great. He was champion for like 4 straight years. I think 1,316 days. They said
something like that. Yeah.
So it's like one of the longest reigns I think of champion. You got to give the guy his props, and he's out there with leukemia. So
yeah. What do you think was your favorite like matchup that you saw?
Oh, it was the main event. I mean, being there for the main event, having what was it? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came out. The Shield. The Rock came out. John Cena comes out, and then the Undertaker comes out. All I wanted to hear though was that glass breaking Stone Cold come. That's the only one I wanted to hear come out. But to see all these guys in action, they're older now, but it's still just as nostalgic, and the crowd went nuts. Yeah, The Rock's my guy. The Rock's forever my favorite guy.
And I actually just recently saw a clip of someone talking to John Cena and asking kind of what he plans on doing, like if he's going to do another fight or whatever. And he said he's pretty much going to sit back and he like
McAfee.
Yeah,
he was on McAfee. Yeah, I saw that.
And he was asked about if he would be willing to take a step back and like maybe do like help on the back end, like just like Triple H. Role, and he definitely would be interested. How would you guys feel about that? I think it would be amazing if you had those two helping kind of write it up and figure out what to do and how to make it better.
Yeah, I don't think his role would be as big as Triple H's. Yeah. But even now, you see like Shawn Michaels is back with NXT, and then like you had like William Reed, like all these legends that were once there that, they're legends. They come back because they care about it and they want to see the industry grow and they want to teach the next generation. And John Cena said it to Logan Paul too. He was like, I don't want my ideas to die with just me. And like, if you know anything about John Cena, he's like probably the best person on the mic ever. So it's like, why wouldn't you want him around teaching the young bucks? Like someone like Roman Reigns.
Better than The Rock?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think so too.
I completely disagree.
He cooked them up when he had his notes on the forum. Come on now.
Wow, he did cook them up for that.
I think they're both great. I do. I think Stone Cold on the mic was great too. But I just feel like, but see, that's where I go again because I wasn't a Cena guy, so I really didn't watch as much Cena. So that's where my
that's where I feel like I grew up.
That's me being ignorant again. So,
but then also too, like a guy like Roman Reigns, like. When I was still into it, like 10 years ago, when he was still in the Shield, like getting his start and stuff like that, like he was terrible on the mic.
Yeah.
And how he is now, it's like night and day. Like I enjoy watching a promo from him now because he will just talk his shit.
Yeah.
But back then, like
Chris Jericho is good.
He
Too,
would
on the
just
mic.
stutter all the time. And
It
like,
comes
even,
with time.
And John Cena too. Like they had a promo against each other, and John Cena ate him up too. Like
Yeah.
But I would love to see him there. And then for my favorite match, it was Sami Zayn and Gunther. It was night one for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn is one of my guys. He was just getting beat up the entire time. And Gunther has been dominant, has had like the longest Intercontinental Championship reign. And Sami Zayn hit him with like a brain buster on the turnbuckle. It was like one of the craziest moves I've ever seen. But it was amazing. That was my favorite match from the entire weekend.
What's your favorite match ever at WrestleMania?
Ever? Damn, I have to go. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and the Hell in a Cell.
Well, they did too. Yeah.
And the Hell in a Cell. Yeah,
awesome.
That was
awesome.
That was the greatest match ever.
For me, it's The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18, Skydome, Toronto.
Another one too that I really liked was Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, 2003.
Okay.
That was a great one.
I would say kind of like on a different beat, the TLC matches with Edge, Christian, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys are some of the best matches ever.
Yep.
And they did it, I think, 3 different times. I think they did 2 at Mania and they did 1 at SummerSlam. But yeah, I would say they're my bet. Rock Hogan to me was just like, that's when I was the most into it. That's my like nostalgic.
That's like the peak. That was the peak for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I honestly cannot go back in my memory bank and remember any of them. So I will get back to you guys on that one. But we're going to switch focus a little bit into what just happened last night when this comes out. This will be a couple nights ago. But we've got UConn versus Purdue, man. I mean, I saw it coming. I definitely 100% thought that UConn was the best team going into March Madness. Did I decide to take them out last minute on my bracket winning it? Yes. Because that's always how it happens. I had Houston and Illinois in my both when I literally had UConn picked and then switched it. So that's fun. But how'd you guys feel about that matchup last night?
My initial reactions is just like round of applause to that entire team up there, man. Like you talk about dominance, like the way that they went out and won every single game in the fashion that they did this year after coming off of a national title last year and losing the majority of their guys.
Mm-hmm. It's unheard of.
Like that doesn't happen, especially in college sports.
Yeah, you got to give Danny Hurley his flowers. He's done a phenomenal job building that roster. I mean, they're the most complete team. One of the most complete teams I've ever watched in college basketball. They do everything right. They defend well. They shoot the 3 well. They rebound extremely well on both sides of the ball. They move the ball really well. Everybody's involved. They really don't have any superstars. They just get everybody involved, and they could win 3 in a row. If they honestly could win 3 in a row. Has that
ever been done before?
Yeah, it hasn't been done in a long time. I think UCLA was the last team to do it, and that was when they had like Lou Alcindor and like Bill Walton.
Wild.
70s or something.
That was 7. Well, they won 88 straight games in the 60s or 70s, whatever it was.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think UConn had the record for the girls for a while.
They did too, yeah.
I don't know how many straight games they won. I think they won like 102, something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough to beat UConn, especially now because like I kind of look at Danny Hurley similar to like a Jay Wright, where it's like he's not getting the top guys, but he just molds these guys into great collegiate players, just great collegiate basketball players, just great basketball players in general. And he's built the foundation. Now he knows how to win. So who will be the next team up? I don't know, but.
And how did we feel about that matchup with Klingon and Zach Edey? I mean, honestly, Zach did a little bit better than I initially thought he would, but I still don't see him translating well. But how'd you feel about that big matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I figured they would slow Edey down.
Mm-hmm.
I know Edey would still get, rebounds. He would get some of his points. He's 7'6" or whatever, how tall he is. So he's going to be there. But he's not really that skilled of a big man. I mean, I don't think he is. He's just really big. I think he could develop. He's still young where he could develop, but I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the whole game goes through him. Mm-hmm. And they ran into a team like UConn that actually knows how to defend and not just foul him every time and actually make him work. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jerem, how'd you feel about it? Because I know you have a different opinion about Zach Edey than us.
Yeah, I mean, for the past, 2 years, I really haven't been a big Zach Edey guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, but just watching the game last night, I got to give him his props. He was giving Klingon buckets.
Yeah,
he was.
He was
getting to his spots. He was making it happen. But it was just, how you said, Purdue and UConn, they both have these giants, but the way that UConn uses their giant versus the way that Purdue chooses to use their giant was honestly the difference maker in this game. You know, Purdue only made 1 3-point shot the entire game.
And that was their bread and butter all year. People don't realize that. They think their whole game goes through Edie. They were the highest percentage 3-point shooting team in the entire country. And they didn't shoot the 3 last night because UConn's in your face. They defend well, and they cause you like 4 shots. So, you know.
But going back to that, it's just like the UConn was able to shut down the supporting cast for Purdue. But, you know, Edie was still able to have, you know, 60% of the team's points, you know, had that great of a game for himself and first team. You know, unfortunately, wasn't able to get it done. And I do see the concerns where, like, yeah, his game may not be able to translate that well to the league. But I'm also in the camp that believes, you know, he could be a very serviceable either backup or even starter. Yeah. He can start in the league. It's just, you know, the shot's not there. Like, his skill set is going to have to develop. He's going to have to get stronger. And how you were saying, it kind of does make sense. Like, when he has guys that switch onto him that are much smaller than him, that, you know, won't get back down as easily, I could see him having trouble with that. But, you know, at the same time, I can see him developing very well.
Yeah. I just don't see him getting as many, like, he's not going to get the fouls as much as he just did, like, in college. So that's 20 points for him. I mean, like, you're talking about a guy who can pretty much average 20 free throws a game. And just against UConn, he had 10. I mean, that's just cutting it back from the best college team. Now you're going to the NBA. You're versing totally different animals. You're going to get 6 at most, maybe, free throw attempts every game in the beginning until he gets his flowers from the refs. And
that's if he's getting touches too.
That's if he gets touches, and then that's also depending on what his team is and what their identity is. So it's just hard to say somebody that tall can get that athletic and that, like, can run the floor for 20 minutes. I mean, I can't. It's just hard.
We know, like, he's not going to be the type of player that stretches the floor. Like,
no, they're going to know what to do.
NBA teams, like, bro, like, if you can't stretch the floor like that, you're already limiting your own minutes. Like, you're not playing as much. So, like, yeah, I could see it, but at the same time, I don't know.
You want to believe.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Just, like,
I get it.
I
get
that.
that.
You know, he's a good basketball player.
Yeah. I think he's a situational player. Like, it depends on where he goes. I think that could be playing a huge role. You know, if he has good guard play and they can feed him the ball inside, then I think, you know, it's going to benefit him. But
if they have a
he's
lot
got
of
to be
shooting.
coached well, too. He's got to protect the ball. It's just every time I come here.
Every single time you come here, you drop your phone,
Daniel. But he's got to limit the turnovers. He has some bad turnovers. Especially, I was watching him in the tournament. It's the most I ever watched him. And he had just stupid turnovers, like just get sloppy with the ball. So if he's well coached and he can always develop. He's still young. So
yeah, he'll get blocked 5 times by Derek White if he plays the Celtics. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. And he's Derek a foot smaller than him.
Derek White got the heart of a giant. I'll tell you that much.
That's facts. Well, I mean, I hope them the best, and Klingon and Zach Edey. That was a fun matchup. I mean, now we've got a new segment that Jeremy actually just introduced to us. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so shout out to the podcast, Numbers on the Board. Got this idea from them. So we're going to turn, now that March Madness for college is over, we're going to turn the NBA into our own little March Madness tournament. So what I did is I took the records of every team in the NBA and the association, whether it was East or West, put them together, and we seeded them 1 through 30. And we're going to go through and we're going to pick through single elimination games and try to get our NBA March Madness champion.
I mean, this just sounds like a cool idea. When Jeremy brought it up to me, I was like, yeah, we are 100% going to do this because it's fun to mix it around. I mean, it's not like we're right or wrong either because it's never going to happen. Yeah. But I think it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
All right, so let's get started.
How do you guys want to do it? Are we each doing our own or are we just going to...
I think we can each do our own, like, kind of, and you just say it, and then we'll...
Or should we just unanimously, like, kind of...
Should we consent? Should we do consensus?
Yeah, I feel like we should, like...
Consensus? We talk it out. We talk it out. Okay, I'm cool with that.
And we got to break down. You got to have a good reason why it's going to be an upset.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But remember, this is also, like, one game elimination. So if a team has that, like...
That one killer, like an Anthony Edwards?
Like an Ant Edwards or, like, a Steph Curry.
Who could just drop 60?
Carry your team through one game, then... You know, it makes a lot of sense.
Bron can carry a team through one team.
That's going to be very interesting when we get to Bron.
I know. It's
So my overall 1 seed, they got to buy the top 2 seeds get a bye because it's 30, not 32. So Boston and Minnesota, who's currently first in the West.
which is also crazy.
Are they
There's
tied for
actually-
first? They're tied for
They're
first.
tied with Denver.
But they
and
they have the
They
advantage.
had the tiebreaker, yeah.
Yeah.
So overall 1 seed is Boston. We're going to go straight down from here. 16, 17 seed. We have Philadelphia and Miami. Thoughts?
Philadelphia and Miami versus
Philadelphia,
each other.
Miami.
Miami wins.
First round.
Miami wins. One game. Miami
One
wins.
game.
Yeah, Miami wins.
I think Jimmy Buckets has the
He's got
he's got something over the Sixers.
knows
I don't
how
know
to
what
beat
it is, but it's the fact that he just brings a certain energy that it's like, oh, I've played with these dudes. We're gonna smack them.
It's not even just against the Sixers. It's just when the lights are brighter, playoff time, Jimmy Butler shows up.
Yeah, he's a bucket. I mean, he's literally, what is he, MJ's son? I think. I'm pretty sure.
That's out there. I'm kind of, you guys are both on Miami. I'm kind of combating that. Like, Philly and Miami just played last week. Philly got the win.
Regular
That's
season.
his regular season.
It's still it's one game.
It
It's one game. And correct me if I'm wrong. Miami was up with.
They
a
were
couple
up
minutes
late.
ago.
Yeah, and Sixers brought it back.
You know, Embiid and Maxey, they're quickly becoming one of my favorite duos in the league.
Can't believe that. Philadelphia duo is one of your favorites. And
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm very surprised about that.
I do think
But-
it is a different feel for the Sixers this year with Maxey. 52 the other night?
yeah.
They got to just show me something, though. I am not a believer until they show me something. They got to get out of the second round. And I felt this
haven't.
way the past couple years. So it's a different feel, but they got to prove it to me.
Yeah, I just think the Heat just have that different dog mentality down there, man. They're gritty, and the Sixers, man, like you're relying on Tyrese and Embiid, but then you've also like think about the other pieces, like who are you got to rely on Tobias on trying to
But
make a
Kelly
shot. at the
Oubre
end.
has made a difference.
Oubre has-
Kelly
Kelly
size,
has-
Kelly's size actually does make a difference. I actually forgot about him, and I just thought it's just like the playoffs. It's just been the same song and dance for the Sixers. It's just like I want to
But
believe.
let's omit like all of that, like what's actually
Sixers are
happening.
a better roster.
in this one hypothetical.
Yeah, they have a
game,
better roster with
this
Embiid
one
healthy.
hypothetical game. Forget like what's happened in the past, like based off of this season, like both teams, like what you've seen from both teams, like who do you think wins?
I mean, the Sixers actually held their own without Embiid for a while and stayed relevant, like more than I thought they were actually going to be.
They were awful.
Yeah, but like they,
They almost missed the playoffs.
but they stayed somewhat. I thought that they would be way worse.
I thought that they would have immediately fell into the play-in, and they just fell into the play-in not too long ago, and they're able to climb out. of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that they were gonna drop. Like when I say drop, I mean drop. Like I don't mean just like I know. No, obviously they got worse. I mean Embiid's the best center right now. Yeah,
And that's where kind of it goes. Like, I don't know what we're going to get from Embiid. Like, that's kind of my question mark. It's like, yeah, he's looked good, but does he have the legs and does he have the stamina?
So
to
it's
go
one
for it?
game then.
It is the
It's
one
one
game.
game.
Yeah, I mean. I
All
don't know.
right, fuck it. I'll change my mind.
and
I'll
I'm
go
Kinda,
Sixers.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning Sixers. I just feel like,
Yeah, Jeremy, you got me.
yeah, I don't know. I like kind of thought about it. Like, the Sixers, like, Miami Heat's roster is not that good. It's just like, it's Butler.
It's Butler.
They're gonna
It's
have a rude
really.
awakening this year.
And Butler also doesn't really he hasn't been dropping that much buckets recently.
Well, just wait till the playoffs.
It's a
I
playoffs.
mean, that's
It's
what
the
I'm saying,
playoffs,
but
yeah.
like, let's just go one game first round. He doesn't even have a warm up to get to the Sixers.
And then I don't know Lowry anymore. I think Lowry actually played a big part in them. He hit big shots for them.
He did.
He's a big shot.
Yeah.
Like
How do you have him on the Sixers?
except like 2 out of 6 of the like series, he'll drop a donut.
When you need
But
that
then-
shot
but
in
then when
game
you
7, he got you.
He'll
Listen,
make it.
Sixers are going to win through Maxey and Embiid.
All right,
Mainly
so
Embiid.
Go Sixers?
so we'll go
Yeah,
Sixers.
we'll go Sixers.
Let's go
We'll have
Sixers.
fun. It's tough for me.
All right. I don't think
Yeah,
every
that's right.
single breakdown is going to be that long. but
Yeah,
it's
that
actually,
that
like-
was a long one.
But like Philly and Miami, this is actually possibly going to be a playing game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
yeah,
good to
it's
see
good
them.
debate.
8 and 25, Orlando, Toronto. I don't see how Toronto wins.
Yeah.
Hey, who's the 8 seed? Orlando?
I mean, Toronto's really bad right now, dude. Like they're just in shambles, I think.
They just beat Milwaukee after going on like a 7-game losing streak. Like they're fiending to keep that pick.
Did you do every team in the NBA?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking only the teams that are getting into the
Oh
playoffs.
no. It's just all teams. It's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
it's just like when you have
The
those
full-
Oral
it's-
Roberts and
it's
shit.
like the full roster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see Orlando losing.
Yeah, Orlando takes that.
All right. 9:24 New York Knicks, Memphis Grizzlies.
New York Knicks, Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to go Knicks even without Julius Randle out for the season. But I just still think that they have it. I mean, that man Jalen Brunson's his bucket. He showed out last year in the playoffs. I think in one game he's dropping a 40 burger.
He's my height, and he's fourth in scoring.
Yeah, and he's a bucket. So I think he drops.
They got just all the Villanova boys on that squad.
Yeah, I love that team.
Josh Hart, DiVincenzo.
Do you guys like watch their roommates podcast?
I do.
Well,
I see it on clips, TikTok
it's
clips.
funny.
It is really funny.
Josh Hart is hilarious.
Josh Hart is actually a clown. I thought he had no personality, but that dude is a clown. Yeah. So did we agree with that? Knicks, Knicks all around. That's an easy one to push through.
I just want the Knicks to be good. I feel like the NBA is better when the Knicks are good.
I think it's better when New York sports is good.
Yeah,
I don't
when
care
New
about the
York
Brooklyn Nets. I want
MSG. I know.
basketball
Well,
good.
then it's just like people don't care about the Mets. You care about the Yankees.
Well,
It's like,
even then, because when they had the KD Kyrie Nets 2021, like
people
Oh, that
cared.
was hype.
Well,
That was
that's
hype.
when they started trying to get back into the basketball again, the New York scene. But yeah, so we agree with that. Nice.
Next up, 429 OKC and the Wizards. I don't even think we need to talk about this.
OKC, move them on.
1320 Indiana, Chicago.
13-20, Indiana, Chicago.
Still go
I'm
Indiana.
probably going to go Indiana, even though Tyrese has been a little iffy. I'm going to go Indiana with that.
I think that the Bulls defensively can. I don't want to say that can just stop them, but I think they have a good chance, of limiting the amount of speed that Indiana wants to play with.
Dude, Tyrese.
As of lately, like I don't want to sleep on the Bulls. Like the Bulls could low key.
I know. I
They
mean,
gonna
Kobe
win
White is
this
okay,
first
bucket
playing game.
low-key.
Like Kobe White's been balling. Like DeMar's doing his thing. Ayo Dosunmu's having a great season.
They still have Levine.
Yeah, they started. He's probably not gonna be there much longer, but
Yeah, definitely not going to be there much
There was talk
longer.
about him coming to Philly.
Yeah, I don't think that really does much for you, though, honestly. I don't see it
I
moving
didn't know
the
it.
needle.
I didn't know how much it would help us, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying-
definitely heard those rumors.
I'm trying to be a believer in the Bulls right now, but I don't really see.
I
myself
can't
believing in the Bulls.
see him, dude.
Going
Tyrese is going to have
going
20
Tyrese. I
assists.
interviewed him at the Indianapolis 500. I'll go with him.
I'm going Tyrese. All right, so move the
I
Pacers
didn't even know
on.
who he was. I interviewed him.
He went to Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I was a jerk off for that. Completely, yeah.
He said he
Guy
went to
Zach. I was like,
He
you're
said
a
it to
Kentucky.
him.
Zach was like, yeah, I didn't even know who he was. Zach goes, yeah, he's a Kentucky guy. I'm like, Kentucky, right? He's like, Iowa State. I was
Like, same thing.
oh, okay. I was like, do you like basketball?
Basketball.
Do you play football, actually?
Yeah.
He's a world class
Embarrassing
tennis player.
Embarrassing moment.
All right, moving on. Idiot. We got the 5 seed LA Clippers versus the 28 seed San Antonio Spurs.
Wemby.
Give me San Antonio just because I hate the Clippers.
Just give me Wemby.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm indifferent.
I'm
I'm indifferent. I'm with either side. So
I mean, I actually, if it was my personal bracket, I think the Clippers go a little bit
I think
farther.
The Clippers good. The Clippers good too. I just not a Harden guy, but
I definitely gonna have 40 and 20 in this game. But like Paul George gonna have like 35.
Yeah.
Kawhi's gonna have 30. James Harden's gonna have 20 and 15. Then Russ is gonna.
Their
have like
team has
15.
been looking phenomenal. The Clippers, I really do like them making a run, so I'm
give
sticking
it time.
Clippers.
They'll fall apart.
Now, if Kawhi's knee is, that's the only thing. That's my only issue. My only
Got
concern.
Harden on that team, it ain't gonna happen.
If that knee is good,
For one
Okay,
game,
alright.
it can happen. James
For one
Harden.
game, yes. For one game.
But for a series, it's a little bit different.
Inevitable. That collapse is gonna happen.
all right, moving on, we got Cleveland, Atlanta. 12
like-
12 seed versus 21.
Wait, say it again. Sorry, I'm
12
forgot.
seeded Cleveland versus 21 Atlanta.
I mean, I'm a big Cavs fan, honestly. Like I have been. Like I love watching them. I don't know what it is about them, but dude, Trae Young can drop buckets at any moment. So like this is kind of a hard matchup for me.
Yeah, I go Cleveland. I go Cleveland in this matchup. Mitchell's good. I just think he wills them to victory.
You think so?
I think
Yeah.
the way that both rosters are constructed, you have your two bigs with Clint Capella, Jared Allen. You got your what's it called? Your mobile fours. Like you got Mobley, you got Jalen Johnson, you got Donovan and Darius, you got Trey and
And I love
DeJounte.
Darius. So
And like I don't know, like could the Cavs defense stop the Hawks offense? Like
that's my only issue, I would think. But also, like I love Jared Allen. He's a double machine. I love it. And they're back. And it's also like, yeah, you got to think about it too. Like the defense on the backcourt side on both sides really isn't that nice.
I mean, DeJounte pretty much.
Yeah.
You stick DeJounte onto whichever one of those two. But then it's also like, oh, the Hawks have been so underwhelmingly bad this year.
Yeah.
Like the Cavs had this amazing stretch
Surge,
and they've fallen off from since then and stuff like that. And like they don't really look like the contender that we thought they would be.
But I'm still sticking with Cavs.
And Donovan Mitchell hasn't been playing as great, but yeah, we'll go Cavs.
Yeah. The Hawks are iffy right now. I agree with that.
All right, other side, we got 3 Denver, Detroit. That's Denver. 14 Sacramento versus 19 Houston. This was an interesting one to me.
Sacramento. I mean, I absolutely love the Kings. I will 100% stand by that. I think that they're fast. They know how to work the floor. I love them defensively. Their offense is just a machine. I think the Kings make a good run in this bracket.
Yeah, I'm a huge Kings guy because of De'Aaron Fox. Love De'Aaron Fox at Kentucky. Wanted the Sixers to draft De'Aaron Fox. I never want the Sixers to move up and get Markelle Fultz. De'Aaron Fox was the guy.
That's a shame.
I don't go back and say Tatum. I never go back and say Tatum because I didn't want Tatum. I wanted Fox. Fox was my guy out of Kentucky.
The best player in the league next year is going to be your favorite.
That's water under the bridge at this point. But yeah, I go with the Kings.
Damn, you're not rocking with the Rockets?
Not as much as the Kings.
Well,
the Kings are like my sneaky team to make a huge run. I mean, they've
been falling.
They've
been falling in the standings.
I know, but remember,
they're a playing team right now.
But they're still 45-33. That's still like a good record. That'd be
the
good West is so much better than the East.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because the Bucks would be the 6th seed in the West right now, and they're the 2nd seed. In the
yeah,
East.
exactly.
Nah.
So I still love them. I think that they're just a bucket. And also think about last year, man.
Like they were the darkest last year, but we gotta omit all of that.
I know.
Sacramento was turning up.
I think they're
last year in the playoffs.
I think that they're gonna be. I think they're gonna do the same thing. I think they're gonna turn up in the playoffs. So for March Madness,
I personally would have kind of fought for the Rockets a little bit more, but they kind of are on a 4-game losing streak after being 1 game back from the Warriors for that 10th spot. So they kind of fizzled out. So we'll let them fizzle out of this bracket. Moving on. Dallas, Charlotte. We got Luka versus the Hornets. Move on.
Don't even ask me.
We got the Pelicans versus the Nets.
I'm going Pellies there.
Now, Brooklyn doesn't have offense. They don't
Zion's
have offense.
playing better.
But
Zion is playing better. That's huge for them.
Zion's turning up. B.I. is turning up. I think one of them is hurt right now, but
whatever. I don't even care when it comes to versing that.
I guess it doesn't matter. We got Dame and the Bucks going and playing Portland. Dame's giving them 60.
It's just
like Portland there.
Yeah, it's GG's for that one.
Phoenix, Utah.
Phoenix.
Now,
this is like a little this is harder than you might think. But also D Book is on a tear right now.
He is on a tear, but
he's
the Suns
feeling good.
Are one of the worst fourth quarter teams.
Yeah, I know.
And
Utah's 20-49. 29-49.
They've beaten teams this year.
Yeah, but I'm still probably sticking with it. I'm also just gonna just only solely go by who's been hot right now,
and the one person that could go out and
who's just that's where I'm kind of looking for these 1 games is do they have 1 or 2 players that could literally give you 50 at any night?
Yeah, KD's not losing to the Jazz. Bro.
Yeah, KD will retire if he loses to the Jazz.
All right, last one of the first round, we got 15 Lakers, 18 Warriors.
This is a good matchup, man. I'm gonna go Lake Show. This is a hard one for me. I've been watching a little bit of Lakers games recently, and I can see that they have some sort of spark. I mean, you have LeBron, who can obviously go out there and do whatever he wants and facilitate. He'll probably get a triple-double that game. But also, on the other hand, Steph can just drop buckets at any moment. He can hit it from 55 feet out 7 times in a row. So it's hard for me to say this is a 50-50 for me, but I'm going to stick with Bron.
I'm going to go with the guy with 4 rings. It's not LeBron. I'm going to go Steph Curry.
That was kind of fucked up.
Well, they both have 4 rings.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, they both have 4. Steph could go out there and win you a game. Clay's been playing a lot better, but is Draymond gonna be in the game the entire game? Is he
gonna fight somebody?
Yeah. He'll get
Fight somebody
ejected
in the
3 minutes
stands.
in. What is that? I think that's the quickest time somebody's ever been ejected. Was
but
Draymond recently?
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad.
Steph was crying, bro. On the side, or like tearing up or whatever. But like, I feel so bad for Steph having to deal with that. Like, it's so stupid.
It's so stupid. It
But-
makes no sense.
I don't feel bad for Steph.
But
Steph's had a lot of success in the league.
Steph's fine.
I feel bad for Philadelphia. We've suffered a lot when it comes to basketball. But continue. Who's up next?
He's hurt.
I didn't even pick them to win against the Heat.
LeBron.
Yeah, go Bron.
LeBron.
All right, well-
Anthony Davis has been.
We'll do it like if 2 agree, 1 doesn't. We
Yeah.
just keep it moving.
Yeah,
Even though
'cause
there's
that's
a
kinda how
pushback.
it's been.
Consensus, yeah.
All right, moving on to the next round. We got Boston, Philly.
Boston.
Yeah, the Celtics.
We literally
too good.
Celtics
best.
cannot lose to the Sixers in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
that
impossible.
happens. I don't think Boston losing the Sixers.
I think they're one of the most complete starting fives probably ever in basketball. To be
Yeah,
completely honest.
they are.
They're really,
One of
really
them
good.
out there.
But you got to get it done when it matters. So
Knicks, Magic. Knicks, Magic.
I still want Knicks to make this like Cinderella-ish run. It's not too Cinderella because obviously they're high up and like they're a good seed, but I still would like to see them moving on. And I think one game, anything's possible. Yeah, Magic are a solid squad, honestly, but I'm sticking with my Knicks right here.
I like the Knicks too. I like the youth of the Knicks. Their players have been in big moments, won national championships in college, and they just have the experience, a little bit more experience in the playoffs. So go Knicks.
Well, yeah. For me, yeah, Paolo and friends, they're amazing, but I think that Knicks defense, that Tibbs defense, could slow down the pace for them a lot. Like, Jalen Suggs has turned into like a true, like an actual like good NBA player.
Yeah,
it's
I like
great
him.
to see. Like I really love this Magic team, like that core that they got building. But I don't think this is the year for them.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know?
think so
Like,
either.
when we do this next year, they'll probably be like an Elite 8 team, but not right now. Even though they're 1 game back from the 2 seed in the East, so
Yeah,
maybe they
well,
might get some
that's
type
the
of
East,
home court
man.
advantage.
That's
but
the East for you.
for now, we're gonna have the Knicks moving on. Next, we got OKC and Indiana.
Yeah, give me OKC here. SGA. I mean, I'm not even going to speak anymore about this. SGA is the only thing that matters to me.
Shea Gildress, loved them in college. I like them moving on.
All right, we got.
They were trying to call the dude Michael Carter Williams. I was like, you're dumb.
Yeah,
But
that
they
that
were
was
trying to
actually the stupidest thing I've
that was
ever
what They
heard.
called him Michael Carter. I was like, you're dumb.
That was so stupid.
Dude was smooth as silk.
5-12 Clippers, Cleveland.
I'm gonna go Cleveland here. I'm gonna like do a little bit of like an upset-ish type of thing, where I think an injury falls down, and I'm not trying to curse them, but in this fake March Madness, I think something happens with one of their best 3 players that they cannot keep moving on. Because this has been a thing. What? They're injury prone.
I'm gonna just have somebody tear their Achilles.
No, not tear your Achilles, but like damn, sprain an ankle or some shit. But like I just don't think that the Clippers can stay healthy and relevant.
Somebody's gonna get Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, Jesus. Like I'm not going that deep.
I think the Clippers are too good if everybody's healthy.
If
If everybody's healthy, this guy's expecting an injury over here. But if everybody's healthy, I think the Clippers are too talented.
Yeah, there's nobody. Donovan
Kawhi and
is
Donovan.
gonna have a very hard time trying to get to his spots, and nobody else on the Cavs could bang with the Clippers.
All right.
So
All right, moving on.
The Clippers moving on. All right, now we got Denver, Sacramento.
Denver's too good.
Yeah. I
Just
think
all the matchups.
well, I mean it's just like Denver, like you said, we're omitting last year, but like I just think like they're making it to the play, like they're making it to the finals this year in my head. So like in a bracket, why wouldn't they win 1 game? Is how I'm thinking about it. Like I think that they're 100%. It's gonna be Nuggets, Celtics. Like that's what I believe it will
I'm
be.
in the same boat. I like Denver the best out of any team, actually.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I do like Denver the best.
Even though the Kings obviously can win games, but
Yeah, I don't think Sabonis.
Yeah, I love the Kings.
It's what Sabonis, Jokic, Fox, Murray, MPJ is gonna be in there getting buckets, giving Harrison Barnes buckets.
I just don't think the Kings can match up with size.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be
Like,
an
yeah,
issue.
they're fast and all, but like, dude, Jamal and Jokic are
Aaron
just
Gordon,
so good.
They just have a good team.
I feel like on paper they kind of do match up pretty good.
Nobody
The
matches up with
size?
Jokic.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's just
yeah,
a difference
obviously.
maker. I don't know. I like Denver.
Yeah.
And they have the pedigree of winning a championship.
Facts.
So we'll move Denver on.
Yep.
Luka versus the Pelicans.
Give me Luka every day. Even though the Mavs really don't know how to, like, sometimes they don't know how to win, man.
I like the Pelicans.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like the Pelicans. I think Zion's getting it going. Zion just plays the way he should be playing, man. He's a dangerous cat.
He is, if he plays.
I could
Well,
see the
yeah.
upset in a one game. In a one game upset, I could see it.
All right.
You could see it, but I could also see Luka just
Of course.
going out there and dropping 50 because there's
course.
nobody. I mean, you do. The Pels do have Herb Jones. They do have Trey Murphy the third. You know, stick them around the perimeter and stuff like that.
They still have Ingram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They still have Bi and Zion and CJ McCollum,
Yeah, I like that team.
Kyrie
I like,
and Luka.
I know,
yeah.
but Kyrie's just not reliable to me.
Kyrie is.
He's one of the
He's been a
greatest.
bucket.
he's-
He was just, what, player of the month or player of the week?
Something like that.
He had, I think he averaged 30, 35, something.
And he had that game winner on Denver not too long
Yeah,
ago. And
this past couple weeks, he's been balling.
this season, he's been the most available he's been since when he was on Boston.
when he was on ball. Yeah, literally.
and stuff like that. So with Luka,
Kyrie, Luka, I love him. One of those two can drop buckets, and
Luka's
they both
a top
can.
3 player in the league. So
Yeah.
It's up to you
All
guys.
right,
I just like
moving
that.
on.
I
mean,
like
it's
that as
a
an
good
upset. I
match.
feel like upsets are going to happen, so that's where I'm trying to put some upsets in.
Milwaukee, Phoenix.
Milwaukee.
This is one where I think the Suns can win.
I think they could. I definitely think they could. Finals matchup, rematch.
I think this is hard for me right now, honestly. I'm gonna go Suns too. I mean, I'm gonna lean on KD and Book right now, and fault the first year of Dame being at Bucks, like just like that's a trial year. That's how I kind of want to like write it off.
I agree.
Yeah.
I forgot the Bucks have Doc Rivers. Yeah,
The Bucks
Suns
have
win.
the Bucks have Doc
Suns
Rivers.
win.
The Suns are the worst fourth quarter team. Yeah, Bucks have Dame.
Doc isn't gonna make a single timeout. That's makes sense.
You
So,
got Giannis and KD. Well, Doc Rivers isn't even playing guys like Andre Jackson, who he just found out was on his team.
Yeah,
He
he's
just found out about Andre Jackson. He's like, yeah, he plays with a lot of energy. Like, how
bro.
How you just found out
Really,
about that,
bro.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
All right, keep it moving, Suns.
Yeah, we'll take the Suns here. Lakers, Timberwolves. Now, Timberwolves don't have Cat,
I know.
and these teams have. I think the last time they played was literally like last week. The Wolves won. I think the time before that, which was not too long before, the Lakers won.
I think Ant needs some extra time in the league. I think LeBron's gonna stun him. I think LeBron's gonna come out with some energy to be like, let me show this new Cat that I still got some legs. I still got some tires, so I'm gonna go LeBron.
And you're doing it March Madness style, so it's a neutral court, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
So
going to be more Lakers fans there. I think that'll play a little bit of a role. I take LeBron.
and also in the bubble. I mean, neutral sites is LeBron's game.
Yeah.
he knows how to play.
And that was the best Lakers team they had. It's a shame they had to win it in the bubble.
I know it's a shame. I think they would have won it no matter what. That was a great team.
I agree. They would have had the home court advantage. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
And AD versus Gobert.
Yeah,
So,
give me that.
AD's going
Give
beat up.
me that.
All right, I think we are what Elite 8 now.
Yeah.
I think
You're not
this-
even writing them down. You just remember.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
Off
he's
the
just
dome.
off the dome.
Now we got Boston and the Knicks.
Boston Knicks, give me Celtics all the way through.
I think the Knicks are a team.
It's
I think
gonna be
the Knicks,
hard
The
fought,
Knicks.
but-
It sucks because they don't have Julius Randle. Because if they really did have Julius Randle, I'd not just pencil it. I'd probably pen it. But like, bro, the Knicks are one of the few teams that can go out there
They're
and
gritty.
and punch the Celtics in the mouth
You
so
know,
hard.
I agree. I agree with that.
The Celtics might not be able to recover.
They're a gritty
You feel
team.
me?
I agree with that, but
Like, if they play, it's going 6 or 7. It's going 6 or 7. And in my opinion, with Julius, it could have went either way, 50-50. I do lean Boston
60-40 in my head, but
Out of one game,
but one game now, man, give me the Knicks, man. I think the Knicks are that one team that, they beat Memphis, who's a gritty, tough team. but they don't have no job. They beat that young Paolo team. They're hot right now.
Celtics got the best team in the league.
So he's going Celtics. I'm going Knicks. Then you're gonna be the
Deciding
tiebreaker.
factor.
God, I hate to be the deciding factor.
And he's biased as hell because he
I
hates the
know.
Celtics.
I still gotta roll Boston. I think Boston's just too good.
Moving on, baby.
Right, so
He thought I was gonna go New York.
I know,
to be a
but
complete asshole,
that's why
but
I threw the bias in there. I wanted to sway him again this way.
reverse
Nah,
psychology.
I think I was always Boston, just because I like the Villanova kids, but Boston's just too good.
It was always Boston.
Hey, man, don't blame me though.
Don't blame Jerry.
There's a lot of fans out there that feel the same way. So.
Yeah, no. I'm with it. No, I get it.
If it was Miami, Boston, I might have a different answer. But they lost to Philly.
But they lost.
Now we got OKC and the Clippers.
Give me OKC.
I'm taking the Clippers. Oh, y'all both took OKC.
Give me OKC.
I don't even got a chance to rebut. So OKC moves on. All right. Now we got Luka versus Jokic.
Nuggets.
I'm going Luka. I'm taking Luka. The last time
As an
they
upset?
played, the last time they played, it was a game winner for the Mavs. I think that their team, that when they are firing on all cylinders, they are very hard to stop. Not they. It's just Luka and Kyrie. They are very hard
I
to
was
stop
about to say,
they get
two
it,
people.
when they get it going.
When
And
the
then if you
chips
got-
are on the table, what I watched last year in the playoffs, I got to roll with Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Who's
know
too
if the
good?
Mavs know how to do it with the lights bright yet. I don't know. I mean,
Luka been doing it since he been in the league.
I know, but
He has that help.
I know, but he has like not as
Now
much.
he has that help.
Not like the Nuggets though.
Bro, he was coming into the league going to 7 with PG and Kawhi back-to-back years.
I think that's
and then he went
different.
to the
I
Western
think that's
Conference
different than
Finals with
Jokic right
JB.
now. I think that's different than dealing with Jokic right now and Jamal just balling too. And just the fact that they're the reigning champs and the fact that they are proven in the playoffs and the Mavs aren't.
You guys keep getting swayed by like the past. You gotta forget the past.
But it wasn't that long ago. I go by and the teams.
And also
Still,
right
teams
now,
this
still
year,
they're in the
the
first,
teams
they're
this
one
year.
seed right now too. They're
Denver-
tied.
Denver's 2, yeah, and they're like
And they're in their prime.
4 games.
And they're in their prime.
they're 4
in their
games
prime.
ahead of Dallas. Dallas has 48 wins, and they just climbed from the play-in to the 5th seed.
Look at UConn. UConn just won the championship. They lost 3 guys. They came right back. Denver's the same team,
All
basically.
right, Denver.
Denver is the
Well,
same
Denver.
team basically.
Except for what's his name? Who they lose? They lost. What's it? Green? Is that who they lost? Who was the guy they lost? The one guard. Didn't they lose a guy?
Who?
Denver.
Did they?
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown. That's it.
Oh
Green,
yeah, I
Bruce
forgot
Brown.
about him.
Yeah.
Down here, I swear, I promise you, I don't have a Lakers agenda. I swear I don't.
I swear.
But we got the Suns versus the Lakers. And
I
the
think
Suns aren't beating the Lakers. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say this. I think that they're gonna have their number the entire game. I'm gonna go Lake Show.
Yeah, I'm going Showtime.
There's nobody on. What Nurkic is gonna get 40 hung on him.
Hate to say it.
I like this Lakers offense.
Lakers are making a push in this
They're-
March
they are
Madness
making-
right now.
they're Not
Well,
just in
not
March
just
Madness,
net,
but
obviously,
in
but
the actual league too.
in the actual
they
league,
might have
too.
like the 7th seed.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on. Final 4, first round, first
Damn, Lakers got
matchup.
to the Final Four.
Yeah. We're
We
moving.
got Boston, OKC.
Boston OKC. This is tough for one game. For a series, I think Celtics would take it at 6.
This season they're split, right?
Yeah.
Season series is split. Last time they played, Boston bust their ass, but they didn't have Shea or J-Dub.
No.
I go Celtics.
I'm just trying to think of the matchups in my head right now. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
This is where I think Celtics have been to an NBA Finals.
Yeah.
They've been in the bigger moments. Not taking anything away from OKC. I just don't think they have, I don't think they have that grit yet of getting to like.
In
deeper
one
waters. I
game,
think it's
they
gonna come.
could.
And yeah, I mean, but
I kind of got
Who's
it.
the best player on that court in that game?
I look at it as it's a game 7. And
Who's
Who's the best player on that court from both teams? In that
Jason
game?
Tatum.
I think
This
Tatum.
season.
Tatum.
This season.
Tatum's the best.
I mean,
You can
would
argue
say
SGA,
Shea.
sure, but I
You would
still
say
think
Shea,
Tatum is a
but I
better
would still-
player.
I'm not arguing.
Well, I know, but that's where you're pointing, obviously.
I'm just saying, like, who's the best player on the court?
I think Jason Tatum is, and after Jason
think
Tatum
Tatum
wins a
is
ring
well. I
this
think
year,
it's
he will.
close. I think it's close.
You think it? Yeah.
But Tatum was bad last year in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, but like
Don't even say anything. Let them self-implode on each other.
I'll go with Kusei.
No, I mean, I'm still. It's gonna come down to you because I'm not switching my answer because I just think that they're the best. They're the second best team in the league right now. In my head,
It's a one game elimination. I'm thinking like experience. That doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, we'll give Tatum the benefit of the doubt of being the best player on the court, but SGA is right behind him.
yeah.
So can Derek White and Drew Holiday?
Yes, they can.
They can try. I don't know. I don't think he's.
That's the best defensive backcourt in the league.
Everybody's had issues.
The best defensive backcourt
Nobody
in the league.
stopped Shea this year, man.
Doesn't matter. You have the best defensive backcourt in the league versing him for one game, and then you've got how many better? Like, think about all the matchups. The Celtics outweigh their matchups by a million.
I think both. I think the X factor is for both
best
teams. I think it's.
If KP's hot too,
OKC,
if KP's feeling hot
for
too,
OKC, it's definitely J-Dub. Like if J-Dub has that type game,
I would go Celtics. I'm not going Kusei. I think Celtics are better.
you got Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, fucking Jaylen Brown, and fucking KP, bro.
Al Horford too.
And Al Horford, who's just an absolute beast for some reason on just the Celtics. But
OKC has
match
Shea,
them up with the match up KP.
Shea,
Match up
Dort,
KP.
with Chet.
Okay, KP's eating that up.
I mean, yeah.
KP's eating that up. Jaylen Brown, who's matching against him?
I mean, Lou Dort could lock him up. J-Dub could lock him up.
Lock is hard because then you got to worry about who's guarding Jason Tatum.
Lou Dort is a defensive specialist.
I know he is. Who's guarding Jason Tatum?
I can't think of who the 4 is for OKC.
Who's guarding Derek White, who can drop 25 or drop a triple double if you need?
Shea.
Okay, and then on top of that, Drew Holiday, who can also give you buckets and assists and rebounds.
But then he has to hit his shots. But that's the same thing.
He doesn't even have to hit his shots because he's like the fifth option.
It goes both ways, though.
I just
OKC
think
could score and defend as well.
We just matched everybody up, and I would say Celtics like every single player on the Celtics was better than the OKC.
Not at all.
Who was better?
Shea
and Jaylen Brown. That's
and
1
J-Dub.
out of 5 match. J-Dub's not better than anybody on the Celtics.
You're bugging. J-Dub is better than Drew Holiday and Derek White.
I disagree.
J-Dub is better than both of them.
We have the best backcourt in the league.
J-Dub is better than both of them.
We have the best backcourt.
J-Dub will give them both 25.
They will not.
I promise you, J-Dub will give them. Bro, J-Dub is like that.
I'm not taking away him, but have you seen what Derek White and Drew has done?
Arguably a top 30 player right now. Arguably a top 25 player right now.
Have you been watching Derek White this year?
Have you been watching the Thunder this year?
Yes, no shit.
Then I don't want to fall. I don't want to be like, I think the Thunder are going to the NBA chip or anything. But like, if we're omitting experience for a 1-game elimination, like, bro, like
it's not
the Thunder. The Thunder are up on the level as everybody else. They're the upper echelon of the league right now.
I don't think they're the second best team in the league though. Like the Celtics, who have the best roster in the league.
But still, are they beating Denver?
Don't go to me.
Well, we already won the consensus.
But I mean,
so let's move on.
We'll move on.
Celtics won.
Lakers, Denver. And
Yeah. Moving on.
This was boring. Denver wins.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's not too far. Like, it's not boring. I say, like, that's just what you would expect from the best. Yeah. It's different. It's a different March Madness bracket than
the NBA is a lot more predictable than college basketball.
Well, that's true. The level of the balance at the top is much stronger than at the bottom.
I was about to say, like, when you're talking about 18-year-olds who are in an NCAA tournament, who've never been in the spotlight, who don't have an experience to base what they're doing off of.
And it's a 1 game.
It's 1 game.
That's what changes everything.
It's hard to compare, like, having those upsets to, like, if you're in the league when you've got those steady people who have shown experience in the playoffs, and playoffs you need it. Like, all this stuff, it stacks up way differently than when you've got, like, a 7-4 Zach Edey who can push you through.
Yeah, but think about it like this. Like, a couple years ago in the play-in, when it was, the young and up-and-coming Grizzlies versus the experienced Warriors. Everybody's picking the Warriors to win that game, and they go on and they lose that game. Like, it's at the end of the day, it don't matter if
the
it's
1
college
games
or,
would change it a lot.
NBA,
If we did a whole simulation of it, the 1 games would change it a lot. It would change it a lot. It 100% would change it a lot. You would get some weird matchups.
Yeah, I think it's just hard to not count what we've already seen.
It's it's definitely harder to omit what you've seen in the past from the teams and the
It's already, like, in
experience.
my head
Yeah,
as
like
a
you're
fan.
already thinking like, oh, there's no shot.
As
Like
a
they
fan,
have a
instead of
chance.
NCAA, when you're just picking and you might not even
Yeah.
know who's on that team, and you're like, they can beat you in a game. Like, you get that? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
But Denver wins it all.
Which they probably will.
No, they will not. But no, I'm just kidding. They probably will. But like,
They
but I'm
probably
still
will.
gonna stick with the somethings, but they probably will. But I mean, the Lake Show made it far. That was our Cinderella story, I guess.
I mean, they
They had favorable matchups.
they had very favorable matchups.
They did. So I mean, that is what it comes down to, though. That is what it comes down to, is favorable matchups.
Is your matchups.
Yeah. So I mean, that was pretty good.
And even if you do have favorable matchups, like you still gotta go out there and play.
Gotta get it done.
Gotta get
Like
it done.
thinking back, like
And
oh,
we,
like a
and
team
again,
like,
we're going with experience. LeBron
like
knows
Phoenix
how to get it
and
done.
Utah, like a team with the star power that Phoenix has, like
They're just
KD and Book.
they're gonna get it done.
you would
Should.
That's
think.
why I do like the 7-game series, because it really does prove who's the better team.
Yeah, because one game
Yeah.
elimination,
One game, you got a bad night. You have a bad shooting night. You're
you
done.
even find it in NFL and shit. Like when you've got those people only doing one game, and you're like, damn, I wish I could see like three games, and you'd really see who wins. Because like one game,
They wouldn't be
Patrick
walking after the
Mahomes-
season.
Patrick
I
Mahomes
mean,
doesn't have an issue with it.
obviously CTE would just be through the roof. But like, if I wanted to see actually who could actually win,
I'm
I
excited
think
for the
it
college
would make
football playoff, though. The college football playoff's gonna get wild with 12
That's
teams
gonna
now, and you got
12
the
teams.
Weren't they
It's
talking
next
about
year.
adding?
It's next year. It starts.
No, adding more. Than
Yeah,
12.
I mean, no, but the 12 is going to be nuts because now you have the first round is going to be home field advantage for
Yeah.
college football, which is going to be bananas.
and it's all
Bananas.
going to be like conference champs too that get that home field.
Yeah. And now you're going to get like the smaller teams, like Penn State's probably going to finally make a playoff, where it's like the teams that are like
Should
always
be
on
pretty
the outside.
damn sick.
Yeah.
Be pretty damn sick.
A home game at like
happy
PSU would be
with it.
insane. It'd be bananas. But like even at Georgia, it's going to be wild. But Georgia's probably not going to get a home because they're not going to be in that first round. They're going to get the byes.
All right, well, we're going to wrap up this episode. That was a fun one. I mean, that was a lot of arguing. Me and Jerem just got pretty heated at the end there with the Celtics because they're going to win the championship this year. But thank you guys so much. Dan, thank you for coming out and sitting here and being the mediator between me and Jerem. Thank you.
I mean,
like,
I don't really know if I'm a mediator. I just don't know. I don't have the knowledge on the NBA like you guys have.
no, but thank
I
you.
don't even have the knowledge on the NFL that you guys have. To be
Uh,
honest.
thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, comment below what you think about our March Madness bracket with Denver winning it. Peace out. See you next week.
Gamble with your life. If you didn't know.